Hello, everybody. It's Stacy Sobel from Salon Today Conversations, and I'm excited to have as my guest today, Gregg Throgmartin. He's the CEO of Skin Laundry, and you have 50 plus locations around the world.
Yeah, actually, we will finish the year at 60. So
That's amazing.
excited about that.
That's amazing. And it's in the US, UK, Dubai, and Hong Kong.
Yeah, we operate in the US and Hong Kong, and then we have a licensed partner for the Middle East and UK because we just really have no expertise in that area. And we found some partners that are wonderful operators there. So yeah, growing definitely globally.
Definitely globally. That's exciting. And we are here today to continue our series of conversations called the Innergize Leadership Huddle. And Gregg is going to be a guest speaker at Innergize October 13th through 15th in Las Vegas. And we're also going to continue our conversation about AI in the salon. So, Gregg, how do you see AI affecting salon owners in the beauty and wellness industry overall?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously, it's going to touch in not the long term. I mean, really, I think in the shorter term, it's going to touch every facet of the business, from your logistics to every single customer touch point to every employee touch point in the very near future. But I think there's some things that'll get written about a lot and maybe take a little longer, and then some things that are really happening today that might not be the flashiest, but honestly make your job as a frontline employee so much better, or make the client experience significantly better. So I think that we're on the cusp of, we are putting a lot of these things in place now, and we're seeing them change and adapt dramatically. And for me, I think that's the key. The people that I think are going to have a lot of success in AI, the partnership has to be both on the technology side. For us with Zenoti, we've got, great engineering expertise there, but they're only as good as the feedback and the data they get. Mm-hmm. So, a lot of times you create something and you think this is going to be amazing, but maybe it didn't translate to the employee or to the customer experience. And so that's why I think this is going to actually move much faster, as we are iterating with Zenoti pretty rapidly, on a weekly basis on these things, because, they just want to do work that makes a difference. And so we're able to provide that feedback. But I think one of the most obvious ones, and the things that people will see immediately, is really around scheduling and rescheduling. I mean, even pre-COVID, people got sick, right? Your provider, whether you're in a hair studio, a nail studio, or, a business like Skin Laundry, people get sick or can't come into work. For us, that could be 60 appointments that we have to reschedule. Horrible day for the employee. Not super convenient for the customer to go through that whole, well, do you have Tuesday at 9? No, I've got Tuesday at 11. Well, I can't do that, right? We've all lived that.
Right.
And so I think even things that's not going to make the cover of any newspaper because it's not that revolutionary. But I can tell you from, being on the front lines and being the one that answers the phones, it makes your day a lot better. And for the consumer, it makes it a lot easier.
So what do you think will be the most dramatic improvement? And that example may be it.
I think that's just the daily. Yeah, I think that's just the daily hygiene that we will quickly forget what it was like without it. So I think it'll be like just normal course of business. I really see the things that I'm the most excited about around customizing the consumer experience. So, for example, in a Skin Laundry, we could see, depending the location and the day, we could see 80 clients. Each of those clients is at a different step in their journey. Is it their first appointment as a member? And we need to cater it to around, hey, here's how you check in, here's where you can put your personal belongings, things like that, getting them comfortable with how to navigate, the experience. Is it their 50th appointment? Is it the one where they've really seen the most dramatic difference in their results? And so, it's too big at 80. I don't care how good of a clinic manager you are. I can't process all that data as to where everybody's at on their journey and how I should customize that experience. AI can, so AI can tell me, okay, Mary's coming in. This is her fourth appointment. And on the last one, she commented how her friends and family are really seeing a difference. And the action item might just be talking to her about that. How good did that feel, Mary? Encouraging her, let's keep it going. Right. So it's that bringing that consumer experience together, not just makes it better for the consumer. I think it makes it better for the employee. I come in, I want to do a great job. Now I know exactly what to do for each client.
You're armed with the tools to be able to give that kind of service.
Yeah, to do what would take you come in, you'd have to come into work 3 hours early every day and dig through their records and make those notes. And so that to me is going to be what really elevates the experience.
So how are you using AI, adopting it today? What are the ways is it in your business right now?
So we're using it today a lot with regards to inbound calls, things where there's high frequency but really repetitive type tasks, and ones where, if you happen to have a client checking out and 2 or 3 people happen to call at the same time, that's not a great experience for the client and kind of stressful for the employee. The phone's ringing, but you've got a client in front of you. And so, having the ability to have, that call answered and SmartBot take them through what most of the time can be handled with AI, typically a rescheduling, a question about where you located, basic things like that. That's the low-hanging fruit that we're using now. There's also one that, was very interesting that came up in a meeting with Zenoti because they were talking about a product called Zenoti and really kind of using AI to answer questions with big knowledge bases. And one of the things that hit me, because we had just come off of redoing our employee handbook, is every day we probably have, we've got 400 plus employees. We've got 20 employees that are asking a question about how does this parental leave work, or what's our PTO policy, or whatever the case may be. And somebody is having to sit there and answer the same question, 10 to 15 times a day. Now, we put that in and you've got a live active knowledge base where the employee can ask questions and get that. It doesn't have to be around HR. It could be around how to do their task. How do I check a client out with a gift card again? I forget. So I think it can speed the time to proficiency for new hires, which again, ultimately leads to a better employee experience. So that's where AI is taking, large documents that are constantly being slightly iterated, right? Maybe your handbook's 80 pages and somebody changed a paragraph on page 23. Nobody's seeing that. Now, you've got the latest and greatest. All you have to do is ask Zenoti.
And I think, not having actually worked at a front desk, I didn't realize. I just talked to an owner of a extension salon, and she said this clients who have never had extensions have the same 5 questions that they always ask.
Yep.
And so they have the AI answering that now, and they're like, it's how mundane and repetitive that must get to just answer that same question hour after hour all day long. So
exactly. And so 2 things happen. One, the client gets their answer faster because I don't have to wait for a live human to get free. And the live human saves their energy to work on the things that are really personalized, and having that conversation with the consumer. So yeah, she's exactly right.
So how has HyperConnect, and so tell us a little bit about Zenoti's HyperConnect, improved your customer experience? And were there any unexpected benefits or advantages that your team discovered?
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, HyperConnect has been, a real game changer for us. It really takes a lot of the heavy lifting off the front of house, what we call it, the people that are answering the phones, checking clients out, enabling them the time to concentrate on the consumer and the personal aspects of that relationship. It's helping us in how we communicate with our customers and allowing us to get better. So there's something that I'm excited about. We're very early innings in this, but with voice AI, every call we have can be recorded and analyzed for consumer sentiment. So we can see, maybe we train, so it's not always you're a good employee or a bad employee the way you did it. Maybe it's the company. Maybe we tell them, hey, say this to every client. And maybe it's not resulting in a great client experience. We get a sentiment score and say, hey, we ought to change the way we are explaining that. Or it could be a way where we can look at individual employees and see, are they providing the right level of experience? And then I think what it also does is you just get, imagine a word cloud, if you would. You can really get the salon owner was telling you about extensions. She knows that intuitively because it's her business. She lives it day in, day out. But at Skin Laundry, with us growing so fast, not everybody is going to have that level of knowledge. And so it allows us to have this word cloud of what are consumers asking about on a regular basis? And then what are the changes we need to make where they don't even have to ask that? Should that be more prominent on our website? Should that be something we mention to everybody when they sign up? Should there be signage, right? I mean, again, it's all saying, where's the friction for the consumer and how do we take that away?
And correct me if I'm wrong, but HyperConnect also helps, like when a call comes in, it automatically pulls up that client profile. So whoever's talking to that person has that history and knowledge right there in front of them.
Oh, how frustrating is it when you have that experience where, you called somebody about something, a product return, and then you don't hear anything back. You call somebody else, they have no idea of what was there. I mean, that's the most infuriating. So yes, this allows us to, record, document everything. So if you talk to the client Monday, if I happen to talk to him Wednesday, I'm completely up to speed. And, so I think that makes for a seamless client experience, no matter who's working. But it also, again, allows us to start to analyze, hey, whatever the solution we did either worked or didn't. It resulted in, they ended up canceling a month later. Or maybe it resulted in, oh my gosh, they stayed for 6 months longer. That I think is the stuff that this takes time. Like AI is all about, how much data is it consuming? So some of these things take time to really learn and for the system to test a bunch of things. But this is, A/B testing on steroids like we've never seen. And, from somebody that's kind of a data geek, this is incredibly exciting for me.
Let's talk a little bit about, they're talking about gamification and co-learning. Can you talk about a little bit about what gamification at the front desk is?
Yeah, so we're not using gamification yet. We've looked at it and we're trying to figure out what is the area, that we would use it. We're trying to kind of put in some of the baseline fundamentals to free up some time for that. So that's one for us that I see that in the next 3 or 4 months. We're doing, but what we try to do is when we put something in place, we try to not only give ourselves the time to implement it, but also to iterate it, not to perfection, but to make it substantially better. And one of the things that we pride ourselves on, is being a good partner. And so for Zenoti, I would tell you the team that we have that works directly with them, the documentation our team brings to them is phenomenal. It's screenshots, it's videos, it's quotes from employees. And we do that selfishly because we know if we give them better, clearer data, they will make improvements faster. Right. And they have. So for us, we try to spend a little more time on the things we're rolling out before we go to the next.
And I would imagine you were talking about having the ability to analyze each call and kind of see how each person dealt with it. And you might, through that process, discover real stars on your team that can help, that are doing it better than maybe you're even coaching them to.
They absolutely are. There's a story, not from the salon industry, but there's a story because we all know it, which is McDonald's. And the way that the fillet of fish was developed was a partner in Ohio lived in a Catholic community. And during Lent, his business just tanked. And
Yeah.
so he created created the fish sandwich, which is just a great example of McDonald's is the leader, by far number one. And yet there's somebody operating in Ohio that was doing it better than anybody and impacted the company globally. We have that exact same thing, right? And it could be somebody that started 3 months ago or 3 years ago. And this allows those ideas, I think, to bubble up faster because sometimes they don't even know to tell somebody. They just like, well, I didn't know I was doing something special. I just thought this
Yeah.
is the way we were supposed to do it, right? So you nailed it in the fact that I think this is going to have some people become real stars with the things that they're doing in their clinics.
Yeah. It gives you the ability when you have such a large operation to see the individual.
Yeah, very easy when, and a lot of people in our space, it's, 2 or 3 locations in a certain city. But when you're global, you absolutely need that to analyze every clinic across every geography.
Now, I hear that you're going to be a speaker at Innergize this year.
Yes. Yes.
What are you speaking on?
Really, I'm going to talk about a few of the examples that we've had early success with, because I think everybody likes to talk about the big exciting what's going to happen in the future. But I think as a business owner, and all of us are in some form or fashion trying to grow and improve our business. Like I want to leave the conference with something that I could go back and talk to my team about right now. So we'll give a few real life examples and maybe how we rolled it out, didn't have early success, how we changed it, and then the success that we had. Because I'd like to leave. I've been to a lot of conferences, and I really appreciate when somebody shares the full story, not just the end of it, but like what was the journey like. And we have that, because not everything is perfect day one, and so we'll share a few examples like that.
I love that and we always try to get to that when we're telling a story, because the lessons learned are in the mistakes and how you changed, really, not always just the glorifying success. So it's
exactly my favorite leaders and the people that I really like to listen to, speak or their podcast are the people that talk about, their failures or their mistakes and what they learned. I think it creates a culture where you want your team talking about that and recognizing it is okay to make a mistake, but then it's like, what do we do from there?
Well, Gregg, thank you so much. We're excited to hear you speak at Innergize, and I have an exciting offer for everybody listening today. We have a promo code at Salon Today EB. That stands for early bird. So if you log on to innergize.me and you can get a ticket for $300 off with that code. And Innergize is going to be in Las Vegas, October 13th through 15th, and you'll be able to hear Gregg at the conference. So thank you so much. And you also don't want to miss the exciting thing they're doing this year is Deep End, which is kind of a Shark Tank style competition. And the winner is going to get $50,000 in investment and one-on-one coaching from John Teza, who's the CEO of Hand and Stone, and Shane Evans, the founder and president of Massage Heights. So that's all very exciting. So thank you, Gregg, so much. I appreciate it. And I know like in 6 months, this conversation could be totally different because we don't know what AI is going to bring us around the corner. So.
Yeah, it's going to be a very exciting period. And I hope a lot of people do sign up for Innergize, because I think I'm excited to go hear other people speak. And then also just in between that, the people you meet and what you learn. So it should be a great conference, and I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Okay, you too.